about some of the 4-H events I went to. What ones did you go to?
I honestly didn't go to that many. Besides being like a mini 4-H counselor, which was awesome.
I forgot to talk about that.
I loved that experience of being able to like help the young kids and teach kids going into 4-H different things about it and different activities and arts and crafts and having like fun little games. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was in like junior leaders and livestock club, but those are clubs. But the only thing
projects.
Yeah. And the only thing I actually went to was 4-H Academy, which was at Purdue.
I forced you to go.
Yes, but I actually ended up having a great time.
But you didn't go this year.
Well, it's also because of COVID. Like, a lot of my stuff got messed up, and, like, no one else from my county was going, and I just didn't want to go by myself from my county, and then...
Why does that matter? When I went for the first time, was not the first time, that was the second time. But when I went, me and Noah first hung out, it was me, Noah, and Maddie left halfway through the thing. So there was only 3 of us from Tipton when there was other counties that brought like 30 kids.
I'm just different. I'm different like that.
I mean, I didn't think I was going to have anybody to room with. And in the past, I had, and even after that, because no one else went from Tipton, I had random people. And I did have some weird roommates, but it's okay. So I've went to several. I forgot. I went to Roundup. So that's like the beginner version of Academy. So
that's like the middle school version of Academy.
Yeah, exactly. So like Academy is like you pick one subject. That's your focus the whole time. Roundup is like pick 3 or 4 things or topics, and then it's like broken down between the 3 days, and then you go and do a bunch of different stuff to kind of like get your feet out there into different stuff, and it's like smaller programs, but still very similar. I'm trying to think of, and then there was one thing I also didn't mention last time was mini 4-H day camp. So I was a counselor for that. I think every single year I could be. So, 6 years? From like 7th grade to...
Wouldn't it be 7?
Whoa. 7th grade to...
Senior
year? I don't think it was 6th. I feel like it was from 7th grade, like junior leader grade, because that's when you start.
I guess it was 6 years.
And so basically it's like mini 4-H, or it's like 4-H camp, which we'll talk about that, because I have some questions for you on that one. But it's for mini 4-Hers. So mini 4-H is basically 4-H for kids that don't necessarily qualify for the age range. So 4-H is from kindergarten to your senior year, and then no, 3rd grade to senior year. Sorry. And then mini 4-H is basically kindergarten to 3rd,
second,
or kindergarten 1st and 2nd. So basically there's smaller activities, more for younger kids, stuff like that. So it's like for us, it was like a 3-day thing.
It's kind of also like I would consider it like a recruitment type thing too.
Well, yeah, it's to get kids in young.
Yeah.
And so they make those connections so they hopefully stay in 4-H the entire time. But I know even looking back at it this year, I think that I had fucked up on not doing as much in 4-H. Especially with the events, because that was the thing I really enjoyed, and it helped me get out of my shell a lot, was when I first went to those. And I wish I had gone to like youth leadership conference all 4 years. That was the one I went to my last year and got jock itch.
Well, they didn't even have that the past few years.
Well, no, because the year I went was the last year they did it.
Yeah.
So it had been something that they've done for like 100 years, and for some reason they were stopping it. I don't know why, if there's a real reason, but it was so much fun that I wish I did it the whole time. Same with junior leader conference. I love junior leaders so much. I don't know why I never went there. And so speaking of junior leaders, we were both involved with that for years. I feel like by the time we got out, or was in our 10 years in particular, basically my 10 years, to the rest of your 3 years. We hated it
Oh yeah, 100%.
because it just went
It
downhill.
went very downhill.
I got screwed over by our 4-H extension agent my 10th year on trying to be the president of the club. So, Brian, if you're listening to this, fuck you. I think most people at the Tipton County Fair would like to say that to him, so it's all right. But did you ever hold office in there? You were treasurer, right?
I've been treasurer twice. I was treasurer this year, actually, too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you do anything?
I tried, but that got shot down. So.
Yeah. Yeah, between the people that ran the club and then a person that had been a part of the club for several years and had too much control.
Because, like, when
wink,
you...
wink. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Well, like, when Brett first started, so he's 3 years older than me in 4-H in school. So when he first started, I, of course, wanted to do it because I was like, I would do the same thing he's doing. So, like, before...
You always did that. It was so sweet. So cute. Are you going to drop out of college, too?
No.
Okay.
Anyways, I was involved in junior leaders before the age. You're not supposed to be in junior leaders until 7th grade, but because Brett was 3 years older than me, I helped out, and I loved the aspect of being involved in the community and community service. I still do, but because of it being so unorganized and our extension agent not really doing anything revolving around the club, as I got older, I started to dislike it.
Yeah, I can agree. I love being a part of it, but I know in general I was, I guess, immature or childish, and some people didn't like that. And I guess part of that is just my personality. I like to have fun. I know it was definitely a lot when I was younger at times, but I don't know, at that point it wasn't like I was trying to be that kid that was annoying, but it was just like I tried having a good time no matter what. I was kind of that kid that tried finding the fun in anything. It didn't matter what we were doing, what event or project or anything like that, where by the end of it, some of the people didn't necessarily like me. And although I had been an integral part of the club while I was in it, and coming up, when it came down to my senior year, I wasn't the president, and even though I had done a lot for the club, it kind of never mattered. So by the end, I just said, okay, fuck you guys. I hadn't missed a meeting like my entire time. I've done all this. I volunteered. I put in a lot more time and effort for the club than a lot of people. And then when they didn't want to respect my own shit, they just kind of blew me off, so I did the same to them.